Congratulations, you're a trillionaire, the richest human being in history, worth more than 4 Jeff Bezoses stacked together. If you burned $1 million every single day, you wouldn't run out for 2,700 years. The world is in the palm of your hand. But here's what nobody warns you about. By the end of this, you'll have everything money can buy, and you'll be standing alone on a wet lawn at 3 in the morning, wondering where your life went. Let's start with the obvious. Everyone knows your face is on every screen in every country. There are people outside your building right now, some with cameras, some with signs, some just staring up at your window, saying nothing. So you fix it the way the rich fix things. You hire a bodyguard. Not enough. 2? Not close. You build a full detail, 12 trained operators, armed, rotating shifts, the kind of protection they give to presidents. 48 hours later, it's done. You're safe. Then you buy a car, except you don't buy a Bugatti. You buy Bugatti. The whole company. $2 billion. That's 0.2% of your wealth. For you, it's the same as someone earning 100 grand buying a jacket. Your accountant files it as a rounding error. You buy a compound. 14 acres behind iron gates, a guardhouse manned around the clock. A private road so long, you can't see the house from the entrance. 200 million, easy. But a house like that doesn't run itself. So you hire housekeepers, groundskeepers, 2 chefs on rotation, drivers, a property manager, IT staff, just for the cameras, a personal assistant, who has her own personal assistant. Within a month, 63 people work at your home. And here's the strange part. Sitting in the most boring investments on Earth, your fortune grows by tens of millions every single day. You wake up richer than when you fell asleep, every morning, without lifting a finger. So money is handled, security is handled, and you're a little bored. So you spend. A Boeing 747, gutted and rebuilt into a flying mansion, $400 million. An island in the South Pacific, the largest private yacht ever built, with a submarine bay and a medical wing, $600 million. And then one ordinary morning, you want coffee, just coffee. From the place you've gone for years, your security team needs 45 minutes of notice. You push through the cameras, you walk in, and every voice in the room stops. The barista's hands are shaking. Someone films you from behind a laptop. You get your coffee. It tastes exactly the same. So you stop going. You don't want to be a problem. Now, you try to do good. You write a check, $500 million to disaster relief. The news covers it for half a cycle. Because to you, $500 million is a slow week. People are grateful for about a day. Then they want more. They always want more. But strangers aren't what break you. It's the people you already knew. Your phone rings constantly, but never from friends. Lawyers, wealth managers, charity directors. Everyone wants a meeting. Your name, your signature. The old friends start to vanish. The ones who stay sound careful now, measuring every word before it leaves their mouth. You invite your college roommate for the weekend. He says yes before you finish the sentence. For 2 days, he compliments everything. He agrees with everything. He laughs at jokes that aren't funny. This is the man who used to argue with you about everything, movies, politics, where to eat. That arguing was the friendship. Now it's gone. Then the lawsuits begin. Not 1, not 2, 17 in 6 months. An old partner says you cheated him 9 years ago. A woman in Arizona swears you promised her $10 million at a party. You've never been to Arizona. Your lawyers say the word frivolous so often, it stops sounding real. But each case costs 6 figures to fight. So you settle 3 of them, not because they're true, but because silence is cheaper than truth. Every settlement makes the news. Every headline invites 5 more. Your legal bill crosses $40 million for the year. An entire floor of a law firm works only on you. You've never met most of them. And then you meet her. Sharp. Funny in a way that catches you off guard. She never mentions the money. 3 weeks in, it feels real. Then you notice things. She mentions your island in a conversation you never had. She knows your pilot's first name. She knows which car you prefer for the city. She looked you up before you ever met. Of course she did. Everyone does. But now a question sits behind every moment. Does she like you? Or does she like this? And once that question gets in, it never leaves. So you stop calling. She texts twice, then she stops. 2 weeks later, a tabloid runs it. Inside the Trillionaire's secret romance. Photos of you, photos of her, leaving your gate. You didn't sell it. Neither did she. A waiter did. Now her name is everywhere. Her face, her job, her building. Strangers send her threats. She had a private, ordinary life. And you erased it, just by sitting across from her at dinner. You send an apology. She reads it. She doesn't answer. Then someone from your past sells your story. Old photos. A joke you made at 24, stripped of context, printed as a headline. People who never met you now know exactly who you are based on a sentence from a dorm room 15 years ago. Your team estimates your old life sold for about $250,000. That's what your past is worth, to someone who used to be your friend. Then your mother calls. For 10 minutes, your shoulders drop. She talks about a bird in her garden. Then she mentions your brother, behind on his mortgage. You send him a few million that afternoon. He doesn't call to thank you. 3 months later, at a holiday dinner you flew the whole family to on your jet. He sits at the far end of the table. He won't meet your eye. He leaves before dessert. A week later, your mother calls again. Quiet this time. Your brother told a cousin that you ruined the family, that everything changed when the money came. You can't unsend it. You can't undo the jet. You can't walk into his house without 2 armed men in his driveway. The gap between your lives isn't something you can close with a conversation, so you stop trying. And the compound keeps running. 63 people keep the machine humming. The staff, the schedules, the silence. You eat dinner alone at a table set for 1. Food a chef trained 10 years to make. You take the yacht out and the ocean is so blue it looks fake. None of it reaches you anymore. So one night, around 3 a.m., you get up. The compound is silent, 60 seats in the dark theater. The library is empty. A camera at the end of the hall tracks you. You stop. It stops. You step outside onto the wet grass and look up. Same sky you stared at when you were broke, and the rent was late. Same stars. Same silence. The stars haven't moved. Everything underneath them has. Over 60 people work here. And then you realize you are the only one who lives here. No family, no friends, no one waiting downstairs. Just you, alone, in a house built for hundreds.